Hey guys, Rod here with VML Sports Cards, and thanks for watching. This is part 2 of our 62 card PSA bulk return. Um, as I said in the last video, this is all going to be 90s basketball and newer. Um, so if you caught part 1, we did a lot of the Hall of Famers from the 90s, big time stars like Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, Shaq. Jason Kidd, I know, was in there. Vince, Paul Pierce, T Mac. You know, a couple, basically the guys from the '90s, right? Or drafted in the '90s. Um, Today, for the second half, part 2 of the return, I broke it down, and I'm doing just the greats. I'm doing Mike, and I'm doing Kobe, MJ, and Kobe. Really excited about these. I want to share these with you guys and show you some of the grades we got in some of these, but. Before we get started, real quick, a couple cards I got here. This is a recent pickup. This is a Hakeem Olajuwon. Actually, my first Hakeem auto. Really love this card. Been wanting to get Hakeem auto. Hakeem's one of my favorite players of all time. He really got me into basketball during the Rockets run in their first title. Actually, I still remember my mom getting me a set of PJs back when they had the red and yellow, a pair of Houston Rocket PJs because they had won the championship. It's before I knew anything about basketball, but memory still sticks in my head. Thank you, Mom. And then next, more modern day, but this is a 2016-17 Select Jamal Murray rookie auto. Really love the design of these cards. This one's number 299, and hopefully he comes back from his injury and performs at the level he did when he first, before he got injured in the bubble. All right, so without further ado, let's get right to it. I'm going to start with Mike. So I'm going to try to run through these. I don't want to spend too much time on these. I could talk about these for hours, but I do want to talk a little bit about them and show you the grades, try to get through this as quickly as possible because I know it's a lot. 98 Upper Deck Ovation MJ. One of my favorite sets because of the sensitivity of the card. So these are actually harder to grade because they're a lot harder to find in gem mint condition. So to me, these cards are actually undervalued. Secondly, I love the look and feel of them. They feel like a basketball, the texture, everything. And actually, if you rub on it long, like it'll actually start to fade, almost like a basketball that you've been playing on the street, the playgrounds, blacktop, and whatnot. So I loved that. But because of that, you know, they are sensitive. It was hard to find cards that were really in great shape. You can see top edging on this one is not as clean. But in general, the cards themselves look really clean. So one of my favorite sets from the 90s, Upper Deck Ovation. They kind of tried to continue that with future years, but this was definitely the first. This is the first year they had it, and this was, in my opinion, the best year that they did it. So next we have a Gem 10 Mike Skybox EXL. This one was a really clean card, easy one for me to choose to send in for grading because of how clean it was. This actually, so you have the card here, which is pinned on like a glossy paper, but then you have the mat around, almost like a picture frame, like a matted picture frame. So, nice card. Glad it's a 10. Next, we got the 96 Upper Deck Jordan Mint 9, excuse me. Not really sure what was wrong with this card, but you know, it is what it is. They graded it a 9. Not a whole lot to say about it. Yeah. Next, we had the 92 Topps Mike Mint 9. Now, I've talked about this set before previously. If you've seen any of my other videos, I want to say I talked about maybe like my Shaq rookie, or I submitted one of those to PSA as well. I hate this design. The 92 Topps, to me, has to be like one of the ugliest card designs of all time. The box here, like around the name, and this the box here. I just hate all of it. I mean, the action shot, I guess, is kind of cool. They probably could have gotten a better picture of Mike here. You can't really see his full face, but yeah. And then on the back, the yellow, the blue. It's just ugly, man. I don't know, but this was actually Shaq's rookie year from '92. And I actually have a Topps Gold Shaq rookie card. So if that grades well, then I guess I can't complain. But just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if anyone feels that way. Whatever. I'd be curious to know, like, what do you think is the ugliest set of all time in terms of cards? Next, this is a horizontal card. Tri-card. This is a Collector's Choice Mini. And you see the perforated edges here, so you could, like, you know, back when collecting was more about just collecting the players, you know, it's kind of cool. You could bend these, rip these off, just kind of like a coupon or something. But this was cool because you had 3 big-time stars. So obviously you had Mike, you had one of the heir apparents at the time was Anthony Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, and then you had Sean Kemp, who was one of the top power forwards at that time, playing for the Sonics. So pretty cool card. Got this definitely from my childhood. I don't remember when or how, if I pulled it from a pack. But it came back at Gem 10, so gotta love that. No complaints there. This one was a pretty cool pull from back in the day. You see Mike and Scotty, Ron Harper, Dennis. Chicago Bulls team of the 90s, mint 9. Stadium Club was top stuff, top dog back in the day. I mean, this was like, this was some of the best stuff you can get back then. I remember pulling this and feeling pretty good about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he had 6. I guess I had one more that year. And you see it's funny, you can see Tony, Steve Kerr here as well. But yeah, this was before they won their 4th one in '98. So moving on, that was a mint 9. So moving on, cool looking set here, the 97 Skybox Z-Force Mike PSA 9. I will, as you can see, the majorities are going to be base cards. I just don't have too many Jordan cards that were in great enough shape when I look back that were inserts or that I thought could grade better and be worth sending in. Maybe in retrospect I should have anyways, but nonetheless, 93 Ultra Jordan Gem 10. These actually look very similar to the previous year. The 92 and the 93 are very similar when you look at them. And I'm happy this came back. I think one of my favorite things about this is the back of the design. Very cool. I love, so you have like one shot of Jordan. You got the stats here, and then you have an action shot. So I did always love this about these cards. You got one, like it's kind of like a portrait shot here, and then you have, or candy shot, I should say, and then an action shot over here. So that was consistent across the board with all the cards, and I thought that was really cool. Actually, funny, going back a year before that, you got the 92 Ultra Jordan Gem 10. So I always wondered, the NBA Jam session, this, if you can actually see, is this dunk rank 16. So I'm assuming that's based off of just number of dunks, because I think some of the centers that year, like the Kimbe Mutombo and, you know, I don't know, Shaq's probably up there, Alonzo Mourning, they must have been up. I think they were like 2 and like 3. I think Karl Malone's up there too. So it's hilarious to me that, you know, oh yeah, you know what, dunk rank 16. So yeah, 98 dunks over 80 games. So 1.225. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny because obviously Mike was one of the greatest dunkers of all time, in addition to being one of the greatest players. I'll bring both of these out. So 93 Fleer Jordan Gem 10, pretty awesome cards. So actually I have 2 of them, both of them graded Gem 10. One of them I got as a card shop, from a card shop back in the day. One of them I recently pulled within the year. I bought a wax pack off of eBay, or a lot of wax packs off eBay, and pulled one. So I said, hey, you know what, this is in good shape and it's new, so it's fresh, let's go ahead and send it in. Got lucky there. Collector's Choice Jordan Gem 10. This was like, you know, Collector's Choice was like a lower end product, you know, but you know, anytime you pull Mike, got to be excited about it, and I love that they have all the stats here. I used to memorize all these stats, like when he had his highs, you know, the year he had 69 points, you know, and I, you know, it all brings you back to my childhood and some of the fun times that, the things that I enjoyed about collecting. This is the only 8 that I got of the lot of goats, the near mint 8s. So the 96 Ultra Jordan. It was less, I think, about the front part of the card versus the back of the card. You can kind of see I have one ding, like right over here, top left corner, another soft corner over here, and the edging on these was really difficult. I remember buying these packs as a kid, and they would just stick together. Like every time I opened the packs, they all would stick together. So that would obviously mess, your edges would be much more sensitive. But these were hands down some of my favorite cards growing up because I love, like we saw the progression of some of the Ultra cards, but the 96, 97, if you look at the design, like in cursive, it's almost like in a kind of a graffiti type, cursive. It looks really cool, and it's like the foil in the back. Just absolutely love these cards. Love these cards. And obviously, given 96 is really when I started collecting a lot of cards, going to the shop and buying packs and things. That was also one of the greatest draft classes of all time. So you got Kobe, you got Iverson, you got Ray Allen. Sharif was in that draft, and I was a big Sharif fan. So, hands down, one of my favorite sets of all time. Only unfortunate thing is that I got an 8 on that card as opposed to, something greater. But we can see why. Down to my last 2 cards. So this is the 98 Jordan Mint 9. So as you can see, it's meant to be horizontal. And, so if you look at Ultra, they kind of stuck to that theme. This is a 2-year difference, but they kind of stuck to that theme of having, that cursive and kind of having the foil in the name. But you can see how much, I don't know, I just love it. Like the design of this and the outline is better than what they came up with 2 years later. Again, just my opinion, but love it. But love this one, I should say. But anyway, that was a 9. And then my last Jordan card here came back as a 10. I spent a little bit of time looking at the differences between the two. I couldn't find it. So honestly, I couldn't tell you. It's a crapshoot to really figure out why this got a 10 versus this one. Again, I don't know if they have quotas they're trying to meet to say, hey, they can't all be 10. I don't know. I don't really know. But that was my card. So that sums up Jordan. Okay, so that's my Jordan lot. And next would go to Kobe. So one of my favorite cards of all time, and I really feel like an undervalued card. So this is a 98 Fleer Kobe, just base card. Most of my Kobe's gonna be the same as the Jordan. Like I said, it's gonna be mostly base cards. I don't really have too many inserts or inserts that I thought would grade well. I have a bunch of Kobe rookies. I've sent those to different lots, not necessarily in this lot, but I love this card because as you can see, the action shot, you got Kobe and you got Mike in the background. 2 of the greatest going at it. Kobe's going up for a shot. Mike's trying to block and swipe at him. So I feel like because of that, this is really undervalued. Like if you look at the value of Kobe cards or LeBron cards where Kobe's in it, they're really worth exponentially more than just a standard Kobe card. So I just feel like these are hands down undervalued. If you have this card, I would definitely hold on to it. I think these are going to continue skyrocketing over time. And, rest in peace, Kobe. So what's great about this is that this was a 9, which was disappointing, but bam, I got another one that's a 10. Again, I looked at these cards to try to figure out the difference between the two. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. There was no real rhyme or reason or anything that I could point out as a flaw. I even looked at like the centering and stuff to try to, I couldn't figure it out, but nonetheless, at least one of them is a 10, so I really can't be complaining too much. Or I shouldn't be complaining too much. Next, we got a 98 Hoops, Kobe Bryant. Not a special card. I think Hoops, like I said before, or I said in a previous video, it's a lower end product, but it's still a product. And I think I just looked at condition of this, and I thought it'd be good enough to get a 10. So anything that could be a 10, that was a Kobe, was worth taking a look at. Oh, you know what? Here you go. Here's a card that I pulled when I was younger. The Hoop Screams Kobe Bryant. This is an insert card. I knew I wasn't going to get a 10 on this, but if you can see here, you can see some scratches. Kind of like right down the middle. These little scratches. Probably machine because I think I got it out of the pack this way. Which is unfortunate, but it's a cool looking card. Definitely a cool looking card, like a really reflective foil, and it's Kobe. Any early, like I'm really big into early Kobe rookies, well not just rookies but inserts and just earlier year cards from him. Next we got the 97 Bowman's Best. Kobe. He got Greg Ostertag in this photo too. So, so a second year card. I don't know if there's anything special about this card. Bowman's Best was like a higher end product as well from back in the day, but I don't know. Yeah, it was a Topps product, but I don't know if it really popped off like some of the other sets that were out there. Let me see here. So, speaking of top sets, we got the 97 Finest Kobe Bryant. This still has the sticker on it. Now, this was an 8. I don't exactly know why I got an 8 on this. I mean, I kept the protective seal. There really isn't too much greening. Like, if you look down here, maybe there's a little bit of greening, but generally speaking, it's in pretty good shape. I think the overall eye appeal is pretty good, so maybe that's why it got down to an 8. But in terms of condition, corners, edges, I felt like it was in pretty good shape. So I do believe the greening has something to do with it in that case. But that was the lowest grade I got for any Kobe's I had. Let me see what else we got here. So moving forward, same year, different number. This was number 262, a different card altogether. So this was kind of like a subset, the Showstoppers. This is a really nice card. This is his Catalyst card. Again, second year card. And why I really love it is actually one of the players who I started watching and being a fan of when I started following the Bullets, the Washington Bullets, when they were the Bullets, was Calbert Cheaney. So he's in the photo here. Kobe's blown by him. But nonetheless, very cool card. And in this case, I did take the protective coating off. I guess when I was a kid. It wasn't like this, recently, but I took it off when I was a kid. And yeah, it turned out well. So I wonder if I should have done that with this one. Maybe that would have helped the surface. But real clean card, pretty rare card as well. So there's definitely some value in holding on to this one for a while. Next, let's take a look at 98 Stadium Club, Kobe Bryant. So again, Stadium Club is kind of like a higher end version of Topps. This one was a clean card. Remember pulling this from the pack as a kid. He's got he's dunking on PJ Brown in this video, so a pretty cool shot there. Yeah, nice looking card. Next, we got the 97 Skybox Z-Force Superman, or Supermen. So this actually was a subset, not considered insert because it's still numbered as a part of the set. But this is a subset. I want to say there was maybe like 20 of these. When I say 20 of these, I mean like 20 other players. I know Jordan's got one, Shaq's got one, a couple of guys got it as well. But pretty cool card that came back as a 10. Again, just try to look at these cards as best I could to figure out what I wanted to send in. Next, I have the 98 Kobe Bryant non-protected Gem 10. Okay, so this is interesting. So I think, let's see here. So I have two of them, right? So on the front, they look like they are the exact same card. Now, except that this says it's not protected, and this doesn't say anything. But there's no covering on this. So if you look at the back, this one has like a foil. So this is kind of what I was telling you. I had the Tim Duncan card in the previous set, which is similar, and this is considered non-protected, right? But that's odd to me because this is actually the same card, which is actually thicker, but it actually just doesn't have the peel in it. So to me, this would be the non-protected, or considered a non-protected card, as opposed to this one. So I don't know. There's something just odd about that. Like I'm telling you, like you can't see it now, but if you pull the cards with the packs, this is a thicker card than this card. This is a much thinner card. Almost feels like a kind of like a chrome card in a way, but it's chrome on both sides. You see that? You see how it's reflective on both sides. Anyways, maybe I'm looking into this too much, but as the cards and I collect them, so it's fun. So Kobe 99 Upper Deck Ovation. Just wasn't as huge of a fan. I started off from the very beginning with the Jordan Ovation, and I felt like the texture of the ball felt really cool. It felt very realistic. This just feels like pimples or something like that. Just not the same. I see they try to duplicate that, but it's not the same. But I came back a 9, and then 2 more cards left. 97 Kobe Upper Deck. Second year card. Pretty cool action shot because it's vertical, so you just see a little bit more of the action. You got Joe Smith, first overall pick. back in '95. But pretty cool card. And you see, like, I love seeing his stats. Like, his first year, he came off the bench, averaged 7.6 points per game, shot like 41% from the floor, and now he's one of the greatest. Like, he worked at his craft and he went after it. And this is one of my favorite cards, the '98 Kobe Ultra, because of the action shot. Because anytime you have an action shot where it's fully black in the background, like this is, and you can get a gem 10, to me, these should be worth more. The fact that you don't have any issues with the edges, any issues with the corners, because they would visibly pop up, you know, is great. So not only is that I love the card for the action shot, he's going in for obviously the reverse dunk. On top of that, this ends up getting graded a gem 10, and it's clean on all sides. It's clean on all sides. It's just a bomb card, man. It's just amazing. But wow. Nonetheless, that concludes my 62 card PSA return. I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm gonna try to do some more videos. I know I got one more, at least one more PSA video I gotta post. But y'all stay tuned. Smash that subscribe button and like the video. Really appreciate y'all support and checking in. And I will check y'all next time. BMO Sports Cards out.